My zucchinis are doing pretty good. I sprayed them though because we've had so much rain and I really don't want to get, you know, the, what do you call that? The mildew that gets on the leaves every year. So this year I sprayed them with fungicide. And I've got cabbage coming up. These are kind of smaller. I've got a bigger one somewhere further down the garden. Some of these got infected and I cut off some of the branches. I've got a problem with black rot because of all the rain, and my grape plant has black rot. So here I cut off these here on this broccoli and just sprayed like crazy. And I've got a couple little grape plants over here and I sprayed them. This one looks like it's got a little bit of that black rot, and but it's not too bad, so I'm hoping I can get rid of it. And this plant over here, my beautiful grape plant, I cut a lot of the branches off and I sprayed it a lot because it really had a lot of black rot on it. Like, I don't know if you can see it in here, but I cut a lot of it off because I'm afraid it's going to spread all over the garden. So I figured better be safe than sorry, cut it back and spray like crazy. These are my pepper plants. I've got a little bit of spinach. And I've got these onions over here I really need to weed. So I'm going to weed soon. I've got some tomatoes coming on these patio tomato plants. So hopefully they'll be okay. And you can kind of see, and I put a hoop up for the grape, but it really doesn't need it right now that I've cut it back so much. And you know, there is a grape plant in the next yard, and I just hope that that plant doesn't get black rot. I really should. This grape here is coming from that yard, and it's very close to my grape plant, and I really should cut it and get rid of it. It should not be here, especially where I have this poor plant that got sick, and I'm just hoping I can save it. But that's the neighbor's plants, and there's no one living in that house right now. So there's nobody to trim that plant and all the weeds that are, you know, growing in this yard, and they come through my fence. And so I wish someone was there. And here are my peas. They really grew. So everything is really growing. My tomatoes are growing. Squash is growing. These squash are a little smaller, but they're coming up nicely. And what's left of my lettuce, and of course the sun now is coming out, so I'm getting shadows. So I ate a lot of the lettuce. I put a pepper plant there. These are peas, and more tomatoes, and acorn squash right there. And then there's some, what do you call that? Cantaloupe. I don't know how it's going to do. We'll see if I get any cantaloupe. And carrots are really getting big. You know, the leaves are growing. They were slow to start. So everything's really filling out nicely here. These are flowers, cucumbers, and corn. I moved these tomatoes over here to make room for the, and the lettuce, to make room for the grapes over there, and I've got more tomatoes here. I've got these little baby orange peppers that are just growing so slowly. And so I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, there's a... Gotta get it so that my shadow doesn't show. There's a little baby pepper, and other than that I have to weed. I've got some bigger red peppers there. But these ones that I planted from seed, they're just really small. And I don't really understand. They're not growing very quickly. And there's the watermelon. Here is the pumpkin. And there's some disease on this leaf. I should cut this leaf, but I sprayed very vigorously over here. See that yellow stuff? I think it's black rot. And I removed some bad leaves from a couple of my blueberry plants. And I'm just hoping I don't have black rot all through them. Because that stuff can just spread through the whole garden. And, you know, too much rain. It's really bad when we have that much rain. My strawberries don't have any strawberries now, but they will have strawberries again, hopefully. I have some ever-bearing strawberries there. There are some June-bearing too, but I just hope that big grape plant doesn't get infected with the black rot. There's no one over there to take care of that plant. And spraying is expensive, and that's a big plant. I'd have to go over there and cut it down.